Hello, everyone. So, welcome to another edition to Tabor Talk. How about that? I'm trying to be a little more professional as I move on with these videos. I think I'm heading into I've been doing this for about 3 weeks now. So, anyway, excuse me. Still unscripted and spontaneous. I don't even have an outline. That's the way I like it, right? So, I'm sure you could find other YouTube channels that are more polished. But I think people like this. I mean, been getting a lot of feedback, and they like this style format, Tabor Talk. And again, my podcast and coming up in October. So, anyway, what I'm reading, I read many books. Okay, The Upright Thinkers, Leonard Mlodinow. The Human Journey from Living in Trees to Understanding the Cosmos. This is so good. I'm almost done. I started reading this a couple of months ago. I read many books at a time, by the way. So if you know me, that's what I do, okay? And I'm going to fast forward. I'm not going to get into the whole book, all the ideas. I mean, he talks about, well, from the beginning, right? But he gets into, even like 16th century, Copernicus and Galileo and Newton, just so interesting. But right now to Einstein. I mean, we're on the chapter now, The Limits of Human Experience, and this is like late 1800s, early 1900s. And I think we've all heard the stories that Einstein was not an impressive student, so he actually, I think there's a picture of his like grades. I mean, it wasn't F's, but it wasn't straight A's. Here we are. We had some B's, a couple of C's, and actually he got some bad, like not very good references. His father thought he was, now this is incredible too. Like, this is from Einstein's father. He goes, "My son is deeply unhappy with his current state of unemployment. Day by day, the feeling grows in him that his career is off track. The awareness weighs on him that he's a burden to us, people of small means." So, and then I think people who know about Einstein's life and whatever, that he worked for a patent office and he was just like this clerk, blah, 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 blah. So, another thing, Einstein didn't like school either. And it was like institutions. And you hear that from a lot of really smart people. So, it really comes down to, and I'm going to do some video recording about education, our school system, with the emphasis on testing, and it's just wrong. I understand you have to have tests, but the way we go about it. Let me just read this, and then I'll talk a little bit more. He goes, Einstein's beef with the educational system was its extraordinary focus on preparing students for tests. Like, tell me about it. Right? Anyone who's ever gone to school, not just college, whatever, but just it's like, what's on the test? And the test, how do you do it? I mean, I went to my school, William Patterson. It was, I don't even want to talk about it really, but I mean, there'd be like multiple choice. I know it's easier for teachers to grade, but that's fucking nonsense. It should always be essay, always. And even that, listen, there's so many problems. I mean, ideally, I think the way to do it is like, what it is? It saps, like, as he says, you snuff out genuine curiosity and creativity. It's all you care about is, getting accredited, or getting credit, and passing the test and getting a degree. I mean, we have to do something, right? I mean, you can't just pass everyone. I do understand that. We have to test your knowledge. Do you understand the subject and all this? Very, very important. But you lose so much. Ideally, I think it would be like perhaps the professor or and his aides, like interviewing all the students and going through everything, like spending a couple of hours just interviewing them and see if they absorb this stuff. I know there has to be some testing. I get that, but if you could work on that. So what I want to say about Einstein, he's kind of a loser, and really he's just kind of mediocre. Okay, Einstein, smartest guy who ever lived, right? All right, so what I find very interesting about Mlodinow, who talks about physics, theoretical physics, he goes, listen, he goes, one of the intoxicating attractions of theoretical physics is the potential for your ideas to have a tremendous impact on not only the way we think, but the way we live. But he goes, the problem is that it's so hard. Like it takes years to understand and assimilate the subject, and to understand its techniques and issues. And most of them don't work out. A lot of them you can't figure out. The majority of ideas turn out to be nonsense. And if you do find something, it's so tiny, so it's just a tiny contribution to a much larger body of work. So if you're going to be a theoretical physicist, he says, you got to be fucking stubborn and persistent. And the small victories, the minor discoveries. But here is the absolute thrill and why it's all worth it. If you're that person, like an Einstein or Nicholas Bohr, right? It is, you have discovered something. And what is more important, you have discovered a secret of nature. A little secret. Only you, as he says here, because it says, you have magically worked out and you have discovered, and you could tell a secret of nature that until you publish, only you know. Can you imagine the absolute exhilaration? That is just phenomenal. Like, no human being has ever thought or understood how, let's face it, physics is everything. How the world works. Physics. How shit works. Matter in motion. It's fucking everything. And only you know. Just, that's why you do it. All right, Tabor Talk. Have a great day.